Hey everybody, welcome back. I apologize for my absence. I have been sick, and I honestly would have sounded like a horse or a frog. I may still have a few hiccups today, but I really wanted to get a message out. I kept being pushed to do one, and sometimes the only way I can turn my guides off or shut them up is to just do it. And so I'm actually here. I was doing some pre-shuffling and felt a lot of feminine energy. I really go into this thinking a lot of times it's going to be general, and then certain energies just pop through, and just kind of wanted to let you know what was coming through. I also had Metatron, Archangel Metatron, come through. I feel like he's going to probably lead this reading today. Not really sure what he's going to have to say or what input there is. I do feel like the feminines are needing to clear some energy out, though. And just as a tip of what I usually do, if I take a good 10 minutes doing some breathing exercises, sometimes longer, especially if I'm out in nature. But generally I ask Metatron to use some of his geometric shapes, and I feel like that's what this particular subsect of the feminine energy is needing, and is probably attuned to, is using geometric shapes for cleansing. Now I know that there's a specific one, the Merkaba, that he utilizes, and he's really good at clearing out your Merkabic field. But I usually also ask that he help to cleanse my auric field and my chakras as well. And there's a specific shape that he usually pulls out for me, one that I'm not necessarily. I don't know what I don't even know if it's a real humans have named this shape actually. So, but I do feel like there's some feminines that need to call him in, allow him to help out. I think it probably is closely related to some confusion. You might have some psychic debris, just things floating in your field. Too much fear swarming around, clouding things for you. He's really good at doing a lot of cleansing and clearing to help open and free your channel up. So that's somebody that I think that actually needs to come through, and I would just suggest that you all utilize that. I want to give you a reminder, I don't do any reversals. Energy is fluid. So when I talk about feminine energies and I talk about masculine energies, I'm talking about the energy that I'm picking up on. Someone is operating primarily out of that particular energy at this moment in, I guess what we would call time. And so I'm not necessarily talking about gender. If it is gender specific, I will say sometimes I still use he, she, blah, 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 just because I'm on a roll and I'm trying to figure things out. Sometimes my guides will correct me. That usually lets me know there's some definite differing genders mixed in, and it's really about the energy. And so just know that what I was picking up on was some feminine energy. I am going to do a brief reading, see what needs to be said. If you want any additional information, I'm going to do an extended, and I will put the link down below in the description box that will tell you where you can purchase the extended on Vimeo. And I do apologize for my hacking lung. Apparently Spirit doesn't really care that I'm still technically sick, but luckily you all cannot catch it. So, okay. And also as a reminder, I am myself. If this reading doesn't resonate, that's perfectly okay. There's plenty of beautiful readers out there that you can research. If you did find your way to my page, there probably is a message somewhere for you. Also, not everything is going to resonate throughout the message. I'm trying my best to decipher what they show me and what I'm seeing, and sometimes there's multiple scenarios for the cards because they're really trying to get a couple messages out. So if something doesn't resonate and something does within the reading, take what does, leave what doesn't, and do not try to make things fit. You will confuse yourself worse than your own ego can. When you grasp for something and you are that's a very needy energy, and that actually knocks you out of balance. And so just know that yes, if you stumbled upon this at some point, there may be a message for you on my page, or there is a message somewhere out there that you're being pushed to look for. When I say look for, it'll come to you, but you sometimes have to take the initiative. You know, this is being brought to your attention because there's a message that needs to be said to you from your guides. I do a little prayer before I even push record. I pull in my spirit team. My spirit team is made up of archangels, guardian angels, spirit guides and healers, galactic shamans and healers, and galactic warriors. I also have light beings and my ancestors. Source, you're going to hear me use spirit, source, universe, collective consciousness, collective. I'll try to if I pick up on any energy where people are confused, I will definitely explain that. But I don't want to go into too much of these preliminary things. I want to go ahead and get started with the reading. I already did some shuffling. They did tell me to pull the Golden Universal Tarot deck first, and so we'll see what comes out of this. I'm going to do a couple of shuffles here on camera for you, and then I'm not even sure how many cards are we doing. Okay, we're still going to do 4. I heard that previously, but I wanted to check and I make sure. Alright. If you hear me hemming and hawing, that's because they're trying to explain something to me. I'm trying to feel the energies out. Sometimes I get visions, sometimes I get auditory, sometimes it's a feeling that I have to allow it to set in to determine what it is that they're trying to tell me. Sometimes I will be like, you'll hear me talking to myself because that's actually not me talking to myself, I'm talking to my guides. So just bear with me if I act a little weird, but hopefully we're all weird here, so. Okay, one more time. All right, here we go. I'm going to spread this out. Again, I do apologize if I get into a coughing fit. They didn't really seem to give 2 hoots that, I mean, I got pushed. Like, I haven't even had a shower yet. I know that might be TMI. I'm like, I'd like to get in the shower. That'd be beautiful. Okay, let's see here. Pardon me. Make a hot mess here. I tell you what. They literally just said, not me, that's you. I'm like, really? Thanks, appreciate that. Okay. Oh, and they know how anal retentive I am, because I'm like, can I just do, you just don't even understand the conversations I have with them sometimes. Okay. I need one more. Alrighty, here we go. See what's up. 8 of Pentacles. Huh. Lovers. 10 of Wands and a Tower. Let me see if this is exactly. Alright, they're just telling me how to look at this. There's just something that you've been working on. This feels like an energy of, I've always been working on something. Like, when have I not? At any point in my life. This being really diligent, honing crafts, skills, and I'm getting a feeling as if there's there's been a change in some of the skill sets that you're utilizing along the way. But no, irregardless of what you've been doing, you put your all into it. You really put a lot of effort into it. And you've kind of hit you're carrying, okay, with the Ten of Wands, what they're showing me is that you've hit a place where you're really going to burn yourself out if you're not careful. Your goal is to get to that castle on that mountain. That's where you're meant to be. And it feels as though you're really trying to do every bit of this by yourself. That you've really been in that Nine of Pentacles mode where you build everything up on your own. And you have it set in your mind that you're meant to reach that spot. I can't even point to where. Come on, camera, seriously, you're going to peeve me off. That somehow you're going to reach it by yourself. This camera kills me. All the money in the world, and you still can't get a good camera. And so, okay, so this energy is beautiful. This is what they want you to stay in. They're saying that you really are, like, you're in a sweet spot when you're in this mode. Utilizing your gifts and talents, honing them, crafting something beautiful from them, but this notion that somehow, and I feel like this is, yeah, I'm really good at a lot of different things, and I'm hearing someone say, I don't even know what I'm good at, but that's not true. There's been times in your life where you've recognized something that you're just so beautiful at, and whether you recognize it or not, that's actually been a gift to other people. However, at this point in time, you're kind of feeling like, for that one person, 20 people, or 30 people that said that, you really do have, you have really crafted a lot of beautiful skills. Okay. But this feeling and notion that you have to do it completely on your own has left you in a place where you've put your masculine and feminine are out of balance. And when we talk about out of balance, we're not talking about mathematics here. It's not 50-50. Some people feel like I have to be equal parts feminine and masculine. That is not true. When you are balanced, you are authentically showing up in the energy you are meant to, in the proportion that you're meant to. Clean, by clean I mean not showing up in a negative, low vibrational aspect of that energy. That which is authentic and true for yourself. And you, in an attempt to do everything in this particular way that you see in your head, are forcing yourself to get out of balance. What they're saying is it's becoming a burden. And you have energies and people in your environment who can help compensate. I gotta give an example with this shit. When I channel, I definitely am more in the feminine, receptive mode, energy, I guess you would call it, and that's a beautiful space. However, if I want to survive and feed my children off of something like this, my masculine aspects of myself must step in. And they really take care of the nitty-gritty that has to, so that I can channel, so that I can do this for a living. Those aspects take care of the coordinating, the organizing, the technical stuff, really setting up the space for me to be able to stay in my channel, creating the environment that I need. And there's times where I am so used to being in that higher state, the ethereal, in the heavens, so to speak. I really love being in that space so much that there's times that I just don't want to. I stay in it a little too much sometimes. And then and this is gonna say, when I have to sit and force myself to do things and switch between the masculine and the feminine energies, there's times when I really don't want to. And I used to think that there was something wrong if I felt really drawn on a particular day to be more in my feminine, when I was like, but I gotta get A, B, and C done, da 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 da. And I came to learn that I actually didn't have to be constantly half and half. That it's just as important for me to tap into the masculine energy that's around me when I'm really meant to stay in. If I feel very drawn to being in my feminine energy for, say, 3 weeks straight, and I'm not getting shit done, that a lot of times, and not to say that my feminine doesn't get shit done, but when I do switch to my masculine, sometimes my masculine's a little pithy, I will call it, with my feminine, because it's like, okay, 3 weeks, and now I got all this shit that I need to clean up. Thank you, appreciate that. Okay, so then it's like crunch time. Feels like I was procrastinated. Then there's all this stress, and he rears his ugly head, and I call him a he. He looks like a lumberjack. Just saying, I know exactly what the fuck my masculine looks like. He's very handsome. Anyways, he gets a little pithy with her. So then she gets a little pithy with him. I mean, I get this whole little balance thing going, and I realized one day that I had things in my environment in ways that I could take care of some of the masculine things that allowed me to stay predominantly in my feminine energy, which is where I needed to be for so many different reasons at that point in time. And sometimes it's literally looking at what it's tools that are in my environment. It's people. It's, sometimes it's literally pulling in another person that is really good in their masculine to help you during that time frame. And so this is someone who is not looking at the resources they have, not looking, they're forcing themselves to bounce back and forth like some kind of basketball on a court between these two energies. And the reason why they're really heavily making me focus, because it gets to a point where it feels like it's such a burden when you force yourself into an energy mode. I don't know why I want to say mode. Because that's what it feels like to you. Like, I have to go into a certain mode in order to be able to do A, B, or C. And it loses the I want to use like a creative, you see how he's working. Look at all these beautiful things he's created before. He's working on something else. There's something else that's coming up. And it's actually like, look at all that I can accomplish. I'm going to work on another one. And it feels very creative. Creative in the sense, it doesn't have to be like artistic. That's not what I mean by creative. Like, it gets your juices going. It's you're really good at this skill. And this skill can feel like a burden when you try to take on other aspects that you're not so great at, or that just don't feel right in the moment. I mean, timing is everything, I'm going to say, but also knowing what you're supposed to be doing and what energy in any given moment, that's actually, it feels like the mind wants to chime in and go, okay, it's time to switch between this, that, and the other, and you're like, I'm not ready to, because you're feeling where you're supposed to be, what you're supposed to be doing, and what kind of energy you're supposed to be in, and your mind is telling you you should be in this one versus this one, and it's actually counterintuitive. It's counter to what your soul is telling you. And so it just becomes this big ass burden. It feels so heavy. And you don't have to carry all 10 wands. They're also saying you also don't have to carry them all at once. So this is someone who's really trying hard to do everything. And you're not meant to. And I hear someone saying, but I don't have the help. I'm sorry, but the guides are saying bullshit, you do. You have it in your head a set way that this help is supposed to be. And you need to let go of that. That's very controlling. And maybe trust your higher self to bring in, through the energy it emits, what you are needing, that which will serve you best. Okay, this is going to end up getting long. Holy moly. And so the reason why they're bringing this up, okay, so Lovers isn't always about love, but yes. Someone who's so used to working at the day-to-day, at all the beautiful things in your life by yourself, who says, you know, gosh, you've probably been put in a place where you wanted to get here, you had people, you've probably even had people in your environment before, or in your life, where they kind of made you. You're doing all the work anyways. So you've gotten into this mode of, I'm going to do it all anyways. Okay. In roles, okay, these two really are in tandem. I'm just going to throw this in here. In roles, your Tower, a beautiful person, has now disrupted this flow. There's feelings like, I'm getting someone, okay, so I'm getting a couple different scenarios. I'm going to throw this out there. I'm getting someone saying, I don't want me getting here to be dependent on someone else. That's the wrong terminology. Dependent. Like I can't do it on my own. Or blah, blah, blah. Well, maybe you weren't meant to do it on your own. I mean, in all honesty, none of us are really meant to be doing anything completely on our own. There's a collective. That's why there's a collective. You can't have the collective without the individuals. You can't have the individual without the collective. That's a whole nother lesson for another day. I'll go into that at another point. But this notion that and I think you're being resentful, and I don't want to say hesitant, because of the method in which you know that you're going to reach. Gosh. But see, you've worked hard to create this beautiful life. And you really want to reach that castle. You really want to reach that spot. And don't get me wrong, it's not done just because you reach the castle. But how are you going to make that castle home? And yes, home is where the heart is. You can do that on your own for those who are single. But your journey is not meant to be that way. And you know it. That's the problem. You know it. But letting go is a problem. Oh, Lord of mercy. Oh, and until you let go of how you think you're supposed to get there, of how everything is supposed to be, your ass is going to feel like you're this fucking far away from reaching that. See this? See this? This is what you're telling yourself. I'm that close. I'm almost there. They're like, the fuck you ain't? No, you're not. This is where you at. This is where you at. You've accomplished so many beautiful things. But you want to get to that peak? You're going to need to let go and let someone in. There's someone coming into your life. There's a person. Person coming into your life. You need to choose love. But the thing is, with you not letting go, you're also not choosing yourself. Because when you choose love in another, it's because you recognize that love in yourself. When you are whole, you being open and receptive is a part of that. And when you use terms like, I don't want to be dependent upon somebody else, you're actually shutting down, lowering your frequency. That's very egoic. You're not in your true authenticity at that stage, at that place. And that I can literally give you 20 million scenarios where that is applicable. But in this particular one, they're saying that level of happiness, that level of this is my sweet spot in life, and this is what I want to do, and this is my path, includes another person. And I'm trying to figure out. I'm asking them, what I'm trying to ask them is, what's in that castle? And they're like, everything. They are literally saying everything. And when you hit that sweet spot, when you hit the I love myself and therefore I love others, I am open and receptive and I am giving, when you have that space, and that's what I feel like that castle is, it's that space of your existence that permeates into everything. When you have that spiritual knowledge and understanding of self, but you're closing off, and when you close off, when you're inadvertently closing your own heart chakra is what you're doing. Methods for you to receive your own love, because that which you give out is what you will receive. The energy you put out is what you will get back. And when you choose not to emit, whether it's, and again, it's not always in a scenario of there's a partner or a person, but in this situation there is. In this situation there is. So the tower moment is you having to let go of that, which is easier said than done for a lot of individuals. But this is a beautiful tower. This is not a scary one. This is the one where I'm sorry, they're talking to me. I'm sorry. It's a tower because it's complete change in how you've operated. And you may tell yourself in your mind that I really want somebody, or I'm really open, I'm really receptive, and blah, 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 blah. And you may be in several areas of your life or aspects, but you are not in totality because you are closing off. And if you drop down into your body and you feel, you're going to be able to feel this, you'll be able to know. But right now you're looking at this from the mind space. And you need to drop down into your body. And rather than try and have your mind in this particular scenario figure out how, it's almost like you're trying to figure out how to open up the rest of the way. And they keep saying you need to get in here. That's why Metatron is coming. Holy shit! Oh, that's why. You need to get somewhere. You need to clear your energy fields, and you need to drop down. You can't drop down because you've got so much debris in your field right now. That's blocking you from totally dropping into your body and feeling and sensing and tapping into your channel and knowing. And so that's where Metatron can come in and help you. Thank you. To clear that out so that you can drop in and feel. Because that's how your belief system up to this point is going to be able to be changed. Because it's not, you got it up here in your mind. It's now about changing it in your field, your energy field, in your at a cellular level. It's really about feeling it and allowing that feeling to take over, that open, receptive feeling. And so that's how you, and it's a tower moment also because it's a drastic change in how you will feel in a lot of scenarios. It's going to permeate a lot of like areas of your life that are in the material realm, your day to day. And so that's what they're wanting you to do. That's what you're needing to do. That's your blockage. That's a good title. All right, if you want more information on how this is going to pan out, click the link below for Vimeo. It's a on-demand purchase, and only if you're feeling called to it, definitely. If not, I hope this at least has resonated to a certain degree and is going to help you. Stay tuned because I will be having more videos coming. All right, y'all have a fantastic day.